Hey guys, I actually have something sort of legitimate that I would like to talk about. Um, I'm just going to jump right into it, and if I'm going too fast, I apologize. But I want to fit it all into this 5 minute video, or 6, I don't know. So, situation is, I'm at work, I'm chilling there eating my food, a guy's like, oh yeah, blah blah blah, hanging out with my kids, blah blah blah. And then he brought up that both he and his wife work full time. And I was like, beep beep, that doesn't really make sense. Like, how do you, both parents work full time and also raise their child? I'm watching my step because there's spiky things on the ground out here. So I asked him, how are you raising your kids? That's kind of crazy. And this dude who's sitting next to me starts like just laughing. He just starts cracking up. I'm like, what? I don't get it. What's funny? And he looks at me and he goes, dude, that's crazy. That's funny to me because everybody I know was raised like that. And I'm like, what? So then he asked me, he's like, hey, how were you raised? And I was like, well, my dad worked full time and supported my mom while she like made food for us and took care of us and just kind of hung out with us, or didn't hang out with us and just hung out doing her own thing, making crafts and stuff while we ran around outside like madmen. I did not grow up with cable television. I did grow up with movies, but we didn't have, like we just grew up just by ourselves. We're just like, oh yeah, whatever. And this guy's like, nah, man, nah. Everybody, child daycare, man, daycare. I'm like, what? So apparently, no, yeah. And so he and this other guy start talking, and they're like, yeah, man, just take the kid to daycare, give him the iPad or whatever, and just take off, and that's it. And they're both talking about it like it's a super normal thing. And on the outside, it's like, yeah, super normal. Just take your kid to daycare, give him the iPad, whatever, boom. But then it's also not okay, because how many generations of human beings have been on this planet without having, like iPads and freaking tablets and stuff to just take care of them and let their kids mess around with? Like, a lot of people would, no, like, this is a relatively new thing that we have this much stuff to just amuse us and just take up our time. So you can literally just leave a kid with a phone or something in a room, and they'll be fine for like a couple hours because they'll just be playing games or whatever, figuring stuff out, drawing pictures. It's not a big deal. But then I was just like, that's weird. That is legitimately weird, because if I'm 21 right now, right? If I walk out, find some super hot babe or super smart babe, hey now, and I'm just like, hey girl, what's up? Let's have some kids. And she's like, okay, sure. And then I work full time and give her, the time to take care of kids. And if we like live frugally and are just really downplayed with everything, I could have a wife, I could have 2 or 3 kids, and we could factor things in well enough that we could just live off that and not have to pay for television, not have to pay for computers, not have to pay for phones. We could live like that. Now imagine you're living like that. Barely any electricity, like just enough to like turn on the lights and be like, yeah, the electricity is for lights. And they're like, oh, okay. And imagine going over to that person's house and seeing how their kids don't have any of the things that a lot of everybody has right now. Would that be a bad thing? Like, think about that. Think about just, you walk into a place and you like look around and you see a kid playing with rocks and dirt, right? You're like, oh gosh, inhumane, they're abusing their child by not giving them proper accoutrements, or whatever. It's just really getting to me, the fact that like that's where people are going. And so based off of that, I was just starting to tweak out a little bit. I was like, man, I don't need my phone. I barely need electricity, because I just wake up when it's dark and get ready, then drive to work. And it's like, no, like I do still need electricity, but I'm trying to look at things here and see them objectively and see that a lot of people, I'm trying to look at things objectively and notice that I'm not trying to generalize, right? I am generalizing, but I'm just pointing out that it's like everybody has phones now. Everyone has phones. Like 20 years ago, nobody had phones. Now, when I have my phone and I look at it and it says 14% battery, my heart starts beating like I'm being chased by a cougar. When in all reality, I'm not being chased by a cougar. This hunk of metal in my hand is nearing the end of its completely temporary battery life. And I don't get it. I'm starting to reach this weird point where I'm like, what is going on? Like, why is this a big deal? Why do we have all this junk? And I was thinking about it in regards to family and kids and stuff. It's like, you could legitimately have someone see that your kid doesn't have, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is that I don't like having a phone, and I feel like it takes away from the joy of being alive in the wide, wide world in some strange way that I cannot put my finger on. And that's all I have to say. So, I don't know. Think about that. Tell me what you think, because I'm just talking about what I think, and I would like to hear a different point of view on it, or possibly an extension of the conversation. So, that's all I got. Have a good day.